Hi, thanks for watching. Well, it's been a while, but I've made it back, got some equipment working, etc. It's Sunday the 2nd of June, no it's not, it's Sunday the 2nd of September 2018. I thought I'd better get that one right, it's kind of important what month it is. The moon is entering Gemini, probably about the time you're seeing this. It takes me a little while to get them uploaded. That is actually 9:01 AM UK time. Now that means that, let me see, 8 hours before that on the Pacific coast, 1:01 AM today, and 4:01 AM on the eastern side of the States and Canada. The moon is actually going to be in Gemini. It's a more sociable time. It's a quicker time to think of a clever response to something. You know, when someone says something, maybe puts you down a bit. And then about 3 hours later, when it's much too late, you think of a really funny thing you could have said to put them in their place. Well, that is not going to take the whole 3 hours today, or at least it shouldn't, because things are a lot more quick-witted. Gemini, of course, is a twins influence, so we don't always get things done as well as we'd like to under a Gemini moon. But, you know, think about it. Twins, they are related, they couldn't be more closely related, really. And they do get things done, they do work together. So why not? Things can go really well under this, because it's a cheerful time, you know, really much more cheerful. People are trying to gather information. Anything to do with broadening the mind is supported under a Gemini moon. It's just, as I say, things can get a bit scattered, but that's the way it goes. It's a cycle. We will be under a Cancer moon by, let me check carefully, by Tuesday we will be under a Cancer moon. Things will keep changing, things will keep moving on, because as we go through the week, when we've got, let me see, Cancer, Leo, and then Virgo next Saturday, and a new moon next Sunday. So it's a waning cycle, but there's plenty happening, and being a waning cycle, it's going to lead to a waxing cycle when everything goes positive again. So that cannot be too bad, in my humble opinion. At the moment, the moon is, let me see, it never works when I tap it, 59.1% full. It's worked now. Waning gibbous, as I say, third quarter, which is the next phase, comes up on the 3rd of September, which is only tomorrow at 3:37 AM. So we are less than 24 hours away from third quarter. And during the waning cycle, generally, and particularly in third quarter, we start looking back over what we've been doing in the earlier times of the moon cycle, and just in life generally. Where are we going? How are our plans affecting other people? How are our plans affecting us? That's really important to think about, you know. There's no point kind of working yourself to death or just ending up with an empty vessel and you can't help people as well as you could before, you know. Absolutely pointless. So evaluate that one carefully, because people will be quite introspective during the last quarter. That is just the way it goes. Well, sorry, during the third quarter. It is essentially the last quarter, because fourth quarter is when the moon is starting off again new. But there you go. 59% full as we speak, the moon, waning gibbous. And let's have a look at the planetary alignments. The sun is opposite Neptune, and the sun is most chiefly associated with any kind of leadership, whether that's a group, some friends, and you're the alpha one or whatever. If that really, should we really worry about who, oh dear me, politics and, oh, I can't think of a word for it, but it's real. I don't think it's very positive when someone's got to be the alpha person in a group. Everyone in a group matters, but there you go. In terms of leadership, things could be indecisive, and of course the Gemini alignment is going to play into that as well. But we may come to kind of an impasse, you know, we just can't get any further with our plans. That is the kind of thing that happens, but in the waning cycle, and particularly in the third quarter, it's a good time to go back over that. Work out where you stand, where we've been, where we're going, that kind of thing. The moon itself is void in Taurus at the moment, but that is just about to change when she enters Gemini, so we will not dwell on that, but probably for the last 3 hours or so, if you've actually been awake anywhere in the world for the last 3 hours, it seems to have been pretty well night time. Attempts to change things would have possibly failed. It wouldn't have been easy to change anything, and we might have found other people kind of getting in the way of what we really want to achieve. But fear not, because Gemini is coming up very, very soon, probably by the time you are watching this. Mercury is sextile Venus. Now that tends to stimulate expression, people wanting to actually show out or act out or just speak out, expression in an artistic kind of creative way, looking at the future in a creative way. A good time in a sense for mergers, agreements, business deals, that kind of thing. And things get a bit slacker. things tend to get more positive in relationships as well with Mercury sextile Venus. But let us not forget, Mercury retrograde post-shadow actually ends today, the 2nd of September. And sometimes there is a twist in the tale, but in theory it's all over. The next Mercury retrograde starts at the end of October and actually finishes, the post-shadow and everything is all going to be finished by the 24th of December. So it shouldn't affect Christmas. It might possibly affect a few days before, but it's not going to affect Christmas. But if I was you, right, I'd get your Christmas stuff sorted out by the end of October. I really would. And that's not just for astrological reasons. I mean, that's just the way of the world, isn't it? So easy to come up to Christmas and we are just about penniless. Right, that is the main astrology today. If you're really interested in astrology, please do look it up further. I'd be here all day talking and still not cover it all. So I just go for the main things, the things that jump out at me as if they're going to make some kind of difference to me and my friends around the world who are watching this. The solar wind speed at the moment, 330.4 kilometers per second. I just mentioned that because it's very slow. The average is about 400 kilometers per second, and we appear to be coming up to solar minimum. There have been some massive sunspots in the last year or so, but most days we've had no sunspot activity at all, certainly less than we used to. Solar minimum is coming, and that sort of electromagnetic charge in the magnetosphere ought to be fairly stable going forward quite a long way now. Okay, well, that is my take on it of a Sunday. Thanks very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Share me around the internet if you can and help me get the word out. Nice one, guys. I hope I'll be back tomorrow. It's been a little bit up and down, internet connections and equipment. Oh, you don't want to know about all that. It's not your problem. But hopefully it won't be my problem either, and I'll be back tomorrow. In any case, I hope you're having a good weekend. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.